Hi folks, my name is Jerry Summers. I was a curbside chronicle vendor. I used my Social Security lump sum to help Ranya Forgotson o.connor by buying 1,600 curbside chronicle magazines at one time, where she was only printing out 2,000 mags, and that really came out really bad for me because I really was not getting the support that I needed from Ranya, and she was basically grabbing everything that she wanted out of it and not really giving me the help, the support that I needed. I felt very unsupported, even though I was turning her whole magazine around for her. You know, I had caught what was probably meningitis February 11th or 10th, 2009, and it set me on a where I got God complex and schizophrenic and bipolar and all that good stuff. And it took me 6 years to get my Social Security lump sum, and by Ranya just grabbing everything that she wanted basically and not really giving me the help that I needed, she sent a red flags off in my mind where, man, I'm really not getting help that I'm needing. And I didn't know how to get the help that I needed from her because a lot of times I literally had to say something outrageous to kind of jerk the help out of her. And this was kind of common because I had to file a couple grievances on her, and before this event of me helping her, so it really came out bad for me that she made it a bit of a struggle, where I literally had to haggle her to get help, and she was getting very good help from me and my Social Security money and the mags that I bought, and so she had me too scared to get a house loan because I saw that I really wasn't getting the help that I needed. But anyways, I went down there. I've seen how the organizations run to help people. I was somewhat impressed. I guess it's never going to be perfect. I guess but they probably don't want it to be perfect anyways because you know for whatever reason. But I turned her magazine around. I should have got better help. I felt, and that's not what I got. It was actually I thought by helping her I'd get better help, but in actuality it turned out to be opposite, where I was better off not helping Ranya, and I probably would have achieved all my goals instead of her allowing me to achieve my goal of turning her magazine around and me not really getting the help and support that I needed for my own goals. So, she really did not give me what I needed, and I gave her what she needed. Um, and she was always bad on my bipolar and anxiety disorders, okay? I mean, she was the worst person I've ever met on that. And then she got even worse after I turned her magazine around. And boy, there you go. I just don't get the help I need, basically, even though I turned the whole magazine around for her, basically. But anyways, so I would like to do things, raise money to do things, drop off the homeless sleeping bags, stuff like that, whatever they need. I'm kind of down there. I know how they are personally and all that stuff. Been around them and stuff like that. So, anyways, uh, about my God complex, see. So, February 10th, 2009, I caught what was most likely meningitis because it knocked my nerve system out. And it was diagnosed acute psychosis because I was out of my mind thinking I was God for 2 days. And, but anyways, next thing you know, I started seeing God in the sky. It was in my mind that way. And then, like around Passover, I saw God for the first time, which was I had a dream Jesus in the sun. And then the next day I woke up and there was by the curtains I heard woman voices saying, "God, Jerry, look at the sun, Jerry." And I was like, no, I am not looking at the sun because I have voices telling me this, and I thought it was crazy. Then a light came through the roof, landed right on my forehead, like Peter that was on the roof. and God showed him that table of unclean food or whatever. And but within that light, I saw God on his throne. It was like, and it was the same guy on a shroud of Jesus Christ. And he looked like an ancient, old-looking man, and he looked like time itself. He looked like about a hermit. So I went to sleep after this because I was like, man, I thought, you know, I didn't know what that light was. I thought, was this, I'm gonna die or what? And then I had a dream about Red Cross and Yellow Sun, followed by the Star of David, and it said, go fix the problems of the world. That was my first encounter with God and seeing him on his throne and everything. In the second encounter, there was this river that I went to go fishing at close to my house, and I was on my way back, and there was a bridge that, and there was a utility knife, you know, with a hammer and a screwdriver. That blade was in the ground. So as soon as I picked it up, God was right there, and everything in my mind told me he was God, and he was a lot brighter than the other God that was, you know, within that light on his throne. And he told me to go help this lady, which later on I started working for her maybe 3 years later. And you know, that was my second God encounter, and he looked like the same guy in the shroud of Jesus Christ, or the shroud turn. But anyways, so I'm going through this God complex, everybody. You know, a lot of people with schizophrenia get some sort of God complex. But here I've got God actually talking to me and stuff. And I said, God, if I truly am you, you come down here and talk to me. Then within my eye, there was a flash of light within my eye. And it was God, you know, God replying to me. It was like Paul and Saul, the light that he saw that blinded him, but this light did not blind me. Then the next time I had God experience was I was getting more verification from God, and I saw like a dime on the people of my eye looking in at me, and it was like a Holy Spirit looking thing, and that was more verification from God because I was looking for it. There were other things that happened besides these that were, you know, the stuff that I'm going through with God. But the last one was transfiguration that I saw, and I was talking to a girl in church, and I was saying how I saw God, and she was like, you know, I've never seen God, and blah 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 blah. And I said, well, maybe it's just not your time yet. And I was thinking in my mind, when am I going to see you again, God? And then I saw a white ghost around me, and I could see through its eyes and everything. That was the transfiguration, and it was truly amazing. So these are the things I'm going through, guys. And when I was little, I had God experiences too. One of the first ones that I can recall when I was little was I had a grandpa Jim, and he was dressed up as Santa one time. And you know how a kid is. You're Grandpa Jim. You're not Santa Claus. And he's like, I'm Santa Claus. But he ended up dying maybe 2-3 months later from that. From I think it was cancer, cigarettes cancer. And so as a kid, I'm in the back seat of my mom and dad's car, and they're driving. Then I look out the window, look up in the sky, and it's a clear sky, no cloud in the sky. I said, God, is there really a God? And I saw a clown turn her face and dissipate like that. It was truly amazing. So that was my first God experience when I was little. And you know how they say kids see their grandparents' ghosts? And I saw mine. And the first one was my mom's mom. And she was in the hospital. I was in there for a hernia. And a lady came to talk to me one night. And she said that she knew my mom and she was from Korea. And I guess she could see through the walls and saw a nurse coming, and she went straight through the door of the bathroom. And the next day I was leaving, and a black nurse was hugging me and saying bye to me and stuff. And I said, where's that lady that checked on me last night? and she was freaking out. What lady? Who? What lady? And she was freaking out like that. And I never understood that event, but I understood it as I grew up. It was my mom's mom, and she died before I was born, way before I was born. So we're talking about a long time ago. And my grandfather had died. And this was a weird encounter that I had, but he was a bit of a psychic, and he told my mom things about me before I was born and after I was born, all this kind of stuff. And so he died, and his ghost came to talk to me, but he was like inside the bed because I guess I'd never seen him. It probably freaked me out because I've never seen this guy before. Um, and it was like a little ball saying yes or no, and I felt it there and was talking to it. And he was telling me that about my future, and it told me that my mom and dad would never care about me, and it was telling me to try to save up money. And he said that there was something he saw about me that he never understood, but he could see it now. And he was saying that he could see that I was God, and he was trying to warn me of my future. And so my reply was, when I was little, I never remembered. I remember the event, but I didn't remember what all was said until I caught meningitis, and like my life flashed before my eyes. Then I slowly started recalling those memories. But anyways, he said that he wasn't going to go to heaven, and my response to him when I was little, was that if I am God, I'll see what I can do about it, because he was trying to warn me of my future. And so the next day, a letter comes from Korea. And now, before that, I told my mom, I think grandfather died because he guided me to the on top of a bunk bed. My dad came in. He's like, "How'd you get up there?" I'm like, "I don't know." And so my mom, I told my mom I think grandfather died. Then a letter came from Korea, said that he passed away. But he was telling me, like I'm going through now, God telling me that I'm God. When 2009 started up, I was feeling like whoop, 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 like my soul going off like that, like something was going to happen that year. And then all of a sudden I got sick with meningitis, most likely. And then the God complex started happening, and I started going through the things that I'm going through. You can call me the street Jesus. People call me the weatherman because I used to tell them, you can call me crazy, whatever. But I guess I'm God because God, and I've got a lot of verifications on that, that maybe I really am God. And I would not discredit somebody with God complex because Christ-like, a Christian is Christ-like, and maybe God and God complex is more Christ-like. I don't know, because some people out there besides me think they're Jesus and God and stuff. But I seem to have much more indication that this might really be true. So, help me out. Trying to raise money to do buy a church, do things and everything, and do things for people. And I'll eventually open up prayer line and stuff like that, because I think since I've seen God and everything, that my prayers might be a little bit stronger than everybody's. And I'm going to test that theory out. But one of the other things that happened to me as a God experience, my mom had a Jesus picture where Jesus was on the clouds, and he had the nail holes. And when I was little, I looked in that picture and I said, God, what is my destiny? Then I started to see my destiny in that picture. And I saw a hand come out of the sky and pick a man up and take him to heaven. So that seems like the hand of God. And that's what God was trying to tell me when I was little. And I never understood all that stuff when I was young until I started going through this stuff with God since February 10th, 2009. So And there were other experiences that I had that I haven't said yet. And, so this is what I'm going through, guys. And so help me out, and God bless you. And thank you.